first of two videos where I'm going to show the structural framing work we're doing in the basement of this house. What you're looking at right now is the engineer's main floor framing plan, and it's quite literally the floor of the main level. We're going to be working on it from below in the basement. So here's the front door of the house, and here's the garage door. So the engineer has called for a 20-foot long steel beam over the garage door, and sitting on that is a PSL beam going down the center of the garage. It's going to take most of the weight of the new level of the house. And it's 7 inches wide by 14 inches deep, and it's a PSL beam, and that stands for parallel strand lumber. It's made up of small strands of lumber that are glued and pressurized together. And this saves cutting down larger trees to create a beam out of one log. Also here, the engineer specified quite a few smaller beams coming off that main PSL, some towards the back of the house, and some over here in the basement rec room. Here we are outside. Joe's getting ready to cut the PSL beam that's going to go down the center of the garage, and we'll go down to the garage and see how we've prepared. These two outrigger walls, that's to catch the steel beam that's coming hopefully in a couple days. The crane can just drop it there and then we'll slide it into position. And that will replace the old beam that held up this part of the house over top of the garage. And as we enter the garage here, we've got these two walls that we built temporarily called false work that holds up the joists above. And you can see where we've cut the joists. Just going to hold the camera here while I point to it. Right down here we've cut a swath down all the joists, and that's where the new PSL beam is going to go. And that's going to support the center of the house. And up top there will be a center wall that will sit on that beam. You can see here the finished concrete work that we filmed in the last video. And a new wall is being built on top of that concrete. And that new wall will support the new beam going down the center of the garage. Now here's a time-lapse video of how our crew got that PSL beam into position. It's quite a heavy beam, so they put it onto a wheeled dolly and rolled it up the driveway. And here you can see them working on the beam. They're just using the far end of the beam as a fulcrum and slowly lifting the other end of the beam up a few inches. And when they do that, they nail off a horizontal piece of 2x6 to support the new height of the beam. And they just seesaw the beam back and forth like that, so they don't have to exert much effort or strain their backs. And then once the beam's at the correct height, they used a metal shoring post to crank it into the exact right position. Here you can see on the left side the support wall has now been built under the beam, and as the beam gets nailed off and supported to the existing structure, the crew's taking down the temporary support walls.